PRC, quality service since 1972. Repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Thursday, the 8th day of January. James Spann here. All the attention focused on next week, the potential for an Arctic blast. Any chance of ice at the end of the week? Yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's take a look. Here's the Skycam shots around the network. Kind of a water theme today. We'll start with Lake Katoma up in Cullman County, as seen from the Skycam there. And that pond almost dried up about a year and a half ago, but needless to say, there is more than sufficient water for a full pool. There's a look at Demopolis, the Tom Bigby running high, and the crest down there will not come until probably Saturday. And understand that is just below the confluence of the Tom Bigby and the Black Warrior. And many of the cabins and the camp houses around there will be cut off by water as the week progresses. Now, up in Gadsden, the levels are falling. That's a Skycam from Gadsden. We're looking at the Coosa River just east of town as the crest has moved on downstream. Big trough over the east, and that's delivered the cool, dry air. Temperatures are about where they ought to be. In fact, pretty mild. Look at the Gulf Coast. They've got low 70s down there at Gulf Shores. Up north, we got 40s. Around here, readings are mostly in the 50s. Those are at 2 o'clock. Birmingham and Anniston, 57. Tuscaloosa at 60. Oh, but look at those numbers. I see a minus 60. Now, this is early this afternoon. These are not morning lows here. See a minus 42, minus 56. That's tough. And again, the models will not handle that air properly. They don't understand anomalously cold conditions like that or hot conditions in the summer. And I'm afraid we'll have to contend with some of that across the fruited plain of the continental United States next week. The QPF chart, this is suggesting rainfall amounts of really 1/2 inch here, valid through Tuesday morning of next week. I don't know if it rains that much. It will be wet at times on Saturday, maybe a 1/2 inch on the high end. I think 1/4 to a 1/2 inch is probably a good forecast. North Atlantic oscillation, the negative peak is next week. Then it goes positive later in the month. And you'd figure we'd have a moderating trend after next week, if that's right. Look at the 12Z-GFS, the Global Forecast System, the primary United States global model. This is tomorrow at noon, Friday. And the upper levels got a trough coming through the Rockies, but around here kind of a zonal flow. Looks like a nice day. We'll start the day around freezing, wind up around 60. But Saturday, here comes that surface boundary. That means a chance of showers with a cloudy sky. And again, rainfall of 1/4 to 1/2 inch likely. Sunday, dry and cool. Nice day. Highs around 50 with a bright sunny sky. What about next week? Let's watch it together. Monday, broad trough over the eastern U.S., and you can see a series of short waves embedded in the long wave trough. And how the whole thing evolves, we just don't know yet. Every run will look different. You've heard me say this umpteen times. I'll say it again. At this stage of the game, I'm not really interested in run-to-run differences here. The pattern is what we're looking at this point, and it favors an Arctic blast. Tuesday, the trough on this run not as sharp, but still, that's a very cold pattern. Down below that, the thickness values, you think, oh, that's not cold. Well, this air is going to be shallow, and the thickness values will not tell the story, but it does hold off the colder air into later in the week. There's Wednesday, and there's Thursday. And again, look at the ridge pumping up over the western part of the continent there. British Columbia, the Northwest Territories, and Alaska. That's going to tap you-know-what. I mean, you saw that. Temperatures up there are, 45 to 60 below zero now. And down below that, there's your problem. A 1,052 millibar high over Des Moines and an impulse scooting on the Gulf Coast. And those thickness values are almost low enough for snow here instead of ice. I still think... gut feeling, and after doing this forever, says the greatest problem would be from freezing rain. But if this happens to be correct, that would be cold enough for all snow on Thursday. We just don't know yet. Again, give us until Monday, and everybody's got an opinion, and you're going to hear this and that on these blogs and rumors flying around. Nobody knows yet. Everybody's guessing. But again, the pattern favors an Arctic outbreak and some type of wintry precipitation at the end of next week, and we'll be more specific on Monday. And there's a look at Friday. Now this run has the thing on by a week from tomorrow, and it's all gone instead of lingering for a couple of days. So this run kind of suggesting Thursday of next week will be the target day. A couple of other models. How about the European? Look at those colors up in Canada. And follow the height lines. That's coming from the polar region on down. This is valid, Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock of next week. And that's a 1,051 millibar high that shows up over central Canada. How about the Japanese model? Don't ever show that often, the JMA. This is valid Wednesday morning at 6 o'clock. How about the 540 line all the way down to Mobile? Yeah, with some type of light snow showing up here. And understand I will admit the GMA or the JMA can be an outlier, but still it's suggesting very cold weather. It just confirms the idea of very cold air next week, the idea of some ice or snow at the end of the week. Nobody knows yet, but the idea is on the table. And hey, look at this. A few days later on the 19th, we're still going to deal with issues. If this is right, trough sweeping through here, that looks like snow with a 1048 high north of Oklahoma City. And then out there at the end of the forecast, the 24th, things moderate, and you'd expect that with the NAO flipping positive. And what's that down there in the Gulf? Is that Tropical Storm A for 2009? Of course not. But again, we do think that after next week, conditions should moderate. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 7 a.m. tomorrow. If you're local, we'd like to watch us on television. We encourage you to watch us on ABC 3340 at 5, 6, and 10. And again, the next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Notes on the blog, alabamatwx.com. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless.